Joining me now with reaction to this and much more, former LAPD Detective Mark Fuhrman. Mark, first, your reaction to that. It seems that a lot of people here have rushed to judgment. It happens often in high-profile cases like this. What's your reaction?
Well, Sean, you know, a homicide investigation, which this is, should be conducted in a vacuum so the detectives cannot be sidetracked by all this drama going on, especially by politicians. When the governor of the state in which this officer resides and works calls for his head, I think it trickles down in a negative way from there, and it'll end up in Ferguson. So when you have politicians, when you have a crowd holding Ferguson, this is a hostage negotiation situation, not a homicide investigation. That's what it's turned into. I pity the grand jury participants. They are going to, this is going to weigh on them in ways that we'll never know, and they'll never talk about it. And it's a secret process. But I really am fearful for this officer. He is not going to get any justice. He's not even going to get a say.
What about this new information that's coming forward that he's suggesting that, in fact, that Michael Brown was lurching towards him? We saw the video. So many people said, well, first you assassinated him, and then you assassinated his character by releasing the store video of him in a really brutal way, pushing around a store manager or a store clerk and stealing it in such a brazen way. And I'm thinking that's important evidence that people need to know about. The public has a right to know, considering that might give us the state of mind that he's in at the time he has an encounter with a police officer, no?
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. State of mind is everything. And the state of mind, right before this incident, he is doing a strong-arm robbery where he throws the owner against a rack of food and then threatens him with his body once again before he leaves. Now he's walking down the street. Yeah. The interesting part about this, Sean, when you look at this objectively, this officer, Officer Wilson, never even had an attempt to actually make any overt law enforcement act. None. He never even had an opportunity to even get out of his car before he was attacked. The whole aggression here was Michael Brown.
All right, let me ask one last question.
He set it in motion.
The only good cop is a dead cop. You know, kill the police. Then we have the Black Panthers leading a chant against Darren Wilson, the officer. I'll play it and remind our audience what was said.
What's his name? Darren Wilson. 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 Who do we want? Darren Wilson. How do we want him? Now. Who do we want? Darren Wilson. How do we want him? Now. Who do we want? Darren Wilson. How do we want him? Now. Who do we want? Darren Wilson.
I don't see, you know, I understand a community upset about an 18-year-old kid that is now dead. I want to get to the truth here. But like in every other high-profile case, there's this rush to judgment. What is your reaction as a former police officer to that?
Well, when you listen to it, of course, you can imagine my reaction to it. But if the citizens of Ferguson, Missouri, and the United States want law enforcement to simply do nothing, then my advice to my brother officers is roll up your window, turn on the air conditioner, put an iPod on, and just drift through your career and see how society likes it. Well, certainly that isn't the answer, but that's what the public wants. I have no idea why somebody would want to become a police officer in the environment and the way they're treated. They're treated like dirt.
Mark Fuhrman, thank you. And come